It's your ultimate resource for all things commercial real estate investing. We're talking from live multi-day events to at-home study courses to even resources to find everything that you need from the beginning all the way to the end. And joining us this morning with more about it is J. Scott Scheel. He is the founder and CEO of Commercial Academy. Good morning to you.
Micah, thanks for having me. Really pleased to be here.
Of course, we appreciate your time. We're going to get more into your background first in just a second. But first, tell us more about Commercial Academy and what you guys do.
Well, thanks for that. Commercial Academy is an entity that I founded just a little over 20 years ago, and it's dedicated really to knocking down the barriers that have kept people out of commercial real estate investment. Typically, there's either lack of resources, lack of network, lack of analytics, lack of data that prevents them from getting involved. And we have worked through the last couple of decades building a network, a team, a set of resources, software packages, and kind of case study data that allows people to really come in from any walk of life and any experience level. They could have been involved in real estate before on a residential level. They could be commercially involved through, let's call it non-principal activities such as mortgage financing or let's say maintenance or management. But to be a principal in a deal is where people really make the large checks. And so what we've done is help put together a step-by-step approach. We call it our 7 moves to checkmate that helps them really navigate those waters, whether they've got credit, experience, or let's say good capital resources that they can work off of.
I was going to ask if it was really hard to get into, but it seems like with this program, almost anyone can do it from wherever, right?
True, that anyone really can do it. Now, with that having been said, if you've got excellent credit and you've got access to personal network of capital, it expands the strike zone for you as you would. You can do more things. But the key that we've always found is getting in at an appropriate level for an individual, starting sooner rather than later is what makes the big difference, because it could take people 6 months, a year, even 2 years to get that first real deal that'll change their life under their belt. And over the course of a handful of years, without stopping what you're doing in your day-to-day activity. So if you've got a job, if you have other investments that you do, if you have another preferred asset class that you like, all of those things can still happen. But if you add this component, eventually, what we've seen historically is that it overtakes just about any other investment vehicle that people are working with as far as its ability to deliver consistent cash flow, tax shelter, and those big checks that people like so frequently.
Tell us a little bit about your background, because reading through it, you have decades of experience, and then also you've worked with some high-end clientele as well.
Yeah. Well, it's, again, really true, Mike, and it's kind of uncomfortable for me to talk about myself, but if you'll indulge me for a moment.
Of course.
I'm a high school educated kid from the east side of Cleveland, Ohio. So didn't really grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth, and certainly by no means had any formal training or education in this space whatsoever. And, I broke out basically by doing a small multifamily 24-unit apartment complex going back about 27, 28 years ago now. And it was great. I did it while I was working my other job. I didn't have good credit at the time. I didn't have any experience. I also didn't have any capital to bring to the table. And I learned how to structure that deal through massive trial and error. And since then, I've continued to compound on top of that. I'm still a very active commercial real estate developer today with a little over 8.5 million square feet of commercial real estate in portfolio. I've done close to $1 billion worth of personal transactions, and I've coached people through tens of billions of dollars in transactions over the last 20 years at the Commercial Academy. It's with people has really opened up the world to me in ways that I could have never imagined. A lot of people think they find some way to make income and they want to keep it to themselves. But I made the decision to share this early on in my career. And boy, it got me involved in things that I probably would have never otherwise been involved in. But one of the most, let's say, avant-garde or revolutionary for me was I was asked to become a public speaker. And so I did that. And that was prior to really starting Commercial Academy. And in that vein, I've had the blessing and the good fortune to speak to, millions of people around the world, been able to speak with, folks like yourself on all sorts of radio and television programs. And then in the live audience arena, I've spoken on stages with presidents of the United States, 4 of them. I've spoken with world leaders, Fed chairmen, hundreds of celebrities from Hollywood and the music industry. So
we have just about a minute left, but I want to touch base about this big event that you're going to be having in Las Vegas itself. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so it's our Commercial Property Academy event. We put these on quarterly, and this one is going to be taking place at Caesar's Palace. We've been to Caesar's Palace 4 years running now, and always have a great turnout. It's always a wonderful event. It's married up against the ICSC convention that takes place there, which is called Recon. So there's about 75,000 people that come in focused on retail commercial investing. It's like shopping centers and Starbucks, McDonald's, things like that. So they come in to do those deals, and then we bring our clients in and we really teach them kind of soup to nuts, really entry level stuff all the way to accelerated advanced concepts, showing them how to break down deals and really getting them exposed to people who are doing it on an active basis. So anybody who's interested in that, certainly, we encourage them to attend. It's a life-changing event. It's backstopped by money-back guarantees and things of that nature in case people get involved and find out, boy, there's a way beyond what they wanted. And then beyond that, before that, we give people the opportunity to learn through a webinar that we put on. It's a free webinar. They can locate that at our website, commercialacademy.com. Again, spelled out, commercialacademy.com. And they can click on a link there for a free webinar. It's going to be about 80 to 90 minutes of detailed, in-depth content. It's free. They can listen, and if they like the information that they see and they think it's relevant to them, they can add that to the other things that they're doing. And then in just a very short period of time, like we always tell people, they get that first deal. And it really only takes one deal, one time to change your life in commercial real estate. So we welcome all comers, all walks of life, races, nationalities, creeds, sexual orientations, you name it. Bring them all. We can help everybody.
Well, we ran out of time. I wish we could talk more about the Las Vegas market itself, but in just a few words, really fast, what about Las Vegas right now? Do you consider it?
Oh, it's awesome. Las Vegas market is fantastic. There's niche opportunities to find discounts. You can also buy stabilized assets at good pricing, and but the market shift is coming where preparation now will lead to massive acquisition opportunities for strong cash flow and big appreciation in the not too distant future.
Well, Scott, we appreciate your time this morning, and we'll send viewers back in the right direction with your website and information. Appreciate your time.
Micah, thank you. God bless.
All right. Again, for more about the Commercial Academy, just visit the website. That's right there on your screen. There's also a phone number listed. Again, that big event is coming up. Plus, we have those free webinars he talked about on that website as well.